Here's 7. Student borrowed $480 from a friend, making payments of $96 a month, no interest, till the loan balance is paid off. The function shows models of this situation where f of x represents the remaining loan balance in dollars after the student has made a certain number of monthly payments. We're using x for the number of monthly payments. We need to select two true statements. So one is we're looking for the domain and we're looking for the range. So the domain are all of the x values, and the range are all of the y values. All of the values that are solutions. Okay. So let's take a look. I've already got this graphed in Desmos. So let's take a look at that. Well, really hard to read the graph from here. So let's zoom in just a little. In fact, since you can see that I've got the function graph right there, I'm just going to hide that to make this easier to see. All right. Well, first of all, if the student has made, or if the borrower has made no monthly payments, then really they still owe everything. So I'm zooming in quite a bit so you can see where the graph actually crosses the y-axis, because the y-axis tells us a lot. So we want to have 0, comma, a number. So if I click right here, the x value is 0.00105. That's not 0. So I need to slide up. And notice how the x value decreases as I get closer to that gray dot. So 480 is at 0. Well, let's see if we can eliminate some of our options. Okay, so the domain is x. So we said that 0 was in the domain. And with the 0, 480 would be the range, part of the range. So 0 maps to 480. All right, let's select this one. The domain of the function is the set of all real numbers. I don't think that's going to be true because we're only dealing with 480 as a result. All right. So the domain of the function is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 0, 96, 192, 288, 384, 480. Well, all we know right now is 0, so both of those fit so far. Later on, we'll eliminate one. All right, can we eliminate anything out of the range? The range of the function is a set of all real numbers. No, that's not going to be true this time because eventually that amount is going to get to 0. So we drop from 480 to 0 somehow. Okay. So the range is the output. Right now, when no payments are made, that's when 0 is what we're mapping. 480 is what 0 maps to. So when it says the range of the function is 0, 96, whatever, that's not true. That might be the domain. Well, actually, you know what? They had it in reverse order than I was expecting. Hold on. It's right here. I use a highlighter. Right there. So 480 is in the range in that last. Okay, but 480 is in the range So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the range is not right. The domain possibly because of the 0, but not the range. So we can, in fact, I'm even going to put a line through this. So I'm not even looking at it anymore. All right. Well, let's go on. Let's take a look again. And let's go out to, let's see here. What would it be? All right. I'm going to zoom out quite a bit real fast because that way I can get to the x-axis much faster. There we go. So each of these squares are 10, not 1. So you might say, well, look, the 1 is not even under the line. Well, that's because it's going by tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay. So now we zoom back in, see how the numbers are changing. Now we get to 2. Okay, there we go. So we're crossing at 5. All right, so I want you to see something. The largest x value is 5. All of the correct solutions are underneath between 0 and 5. That's where we find all of the correct solutions. Anything outside of 5 or outside of 0 is impossible to be a correct solution. Only between 0 and 5. So let's see if we can use that information and eliminate. Okay, so we said the domain, which is x, is 0 to 5. Well, that eliminates 0, 96. So that might be the range, but it's not the domain. And here we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm going to select. I'm going to select that. Okay, well, let's think about this. The range of the function is 0 to 480. Okay, I think it's right, but I want to make sure. The range of the function is 0 to 480. So right here at the origin, if I made no payments, then I come up all the way, I showed you before, when we get to 480. So that's my largest balance left. But when I get down here to where time is 0, right? Or to where time is 5, what I have left to pay is 0 because the red line represents the XY relationship. So when my X is 5, my Y is going to be 0. So I need a set of numbers that goes from 0 to 480. If I look, I do have that set of numbers. So I'm going to select those two. So the second one and the last one I'm saying are correct. And it looks like I am correct. There you have it.